All right, so are you sick and tired of hearing about this Civivi Elementum yet? Or, I don't know, maybe you love the thing and you just want to find more knives like it. Well, either way, though, you're in the right place because today I'm going to go ahead and show you my list of the top 15 best Elementum alternatives. Now, the knives that I've picked here today are all going to be kind of similar to the Elementum, you know, like in size, materials, even the price. You know I'm going to make it easy for you to buy what I show you today, so all of like the links and if there's any coupon codes, all be listed down in the description. All right, let's get going. How about number 15? I got from Essie. This is the Zancudo. Now, as you can see, this is going to be it's a frame lock with a spear point blade shape that I really, really like, even though I could totally do without that giant mosquito graphic on the side of the blade. Now, the blade stock here, it is a bit thinner, so, oh yeah, this is, it's a good slicer. The Zancudo has never really been known, you know, for its action, so if you're kind of looking for something to fidget, this isn't going to be it. Now, if this is your first time stopping by the channel, hey, how you doing? My name is Jay. Go ahead and consider clicking on subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. Sitting at number 14, I got from Artisan Cutlery. This is the Small Tradition. Considering how comfortable that the handle actually is in hand, honestly, I don't think that this gets the attention that it deserves. And you know, a lot of that has to do with its big brother, which is a much larger version that literally and figuratively overshadows this. I don't know why I bought this specific version because you can see that digital camo pattern. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't look too good. And you know, it's nowhere near as vibrant as like what you would see on a Spyderco. Number 13, how about from QSP? This is the Penguin. I don't get too many knives that are actually given to me by viewers, which, you know, that's fine. I'm not saying it, you know, so one of you will send me something. I'm just trying to point out to you how special that this knife is because it was given to me by a subscriber. So, hey, Eric, thanks again, man. I don't know how they did it, but the fact that you can get this at such a low price from a company like QSP, you know, with micarta scales, that's kind of impressive. I know that this next one is a fan favorite. So number 12 is going to be from Steel Will. Yeah, that's the mini cut jack. Honestly, I do like the Modus just a little bit more. But, you know, the mini version with its 2.75 inch blade was just way too small for this list. The cut jack is a perfect example of why I'm such a fan of the forward finger choils because, you know, it takes a small knife like this and it makes it feel a little bit larger just by choking up. If you're looking for one of these with like drop shut action, it's going to cost you because you're going to have to upgrade to the M390 version because it has that ball bearing pivot and these just have the bronze washers inside. Number 11 is going to be a newer release from Civivi, and this is the Bow. This was actually designed by the same guy that is responsible, you know, for the Urban Trapper, Brad Zinker. I'm a big fan of the dark gray stonewash finish that We Knives likes to use a lot. The shredded carbon fiber handle scales, and they are just such a nice touch. But unfortunately, it does drive the price up just a little bit. The star attraction here is the 2.5 millimeter blade thickness. Yeah, just to put that into perspective for you, though, that is going to be the exact same blade thickness of the Delica 4. Number 10 is going to be another Civivi, and this is the Perf. Now, recently I learned that Perf is short for perforation, which all that is an opening or like a series of holes that are punched through a solid object. You know, I like D2 liner locks just fine, but I got to tell you, it's kind of nice to see Civivi, you know, finally starting to use frame locks and Nitro V blade steel. I was able to dial in the action because at first it was a little bit stiff, and you can see with a couple shakes I can get that to close. But all I did was I bent out the lock bar. I mean, just a smidge. Number 9 from Kaisa Vanguard, this is the Mini Dolman. You know what? This is my favorite dolman out of them all. I just think that this color combination, with the black and white, kind of turns a conservative looking design into, I don't know, something a little more flashy. Now that I'm staring at this, how cool would that be? Like if Civivi, I don't know, maybe if they started to make a Star Wars Stormtrooper Elementum, like with these colors, kind of like what Microtech did with some of their OTFs. Just in case you haven't seen it already, I gotta show you the action on this little guy because, oh yeah, that's a ball bearing pivot. And it was doing that like straight out of the box. Number 8 is going to be from CJRB. This is the small feldspar. On the Elementum, I have no problem getting a full 4-finger grip on here. I can kind of do the same on the small feldspar, but you can see like my last finger here, my pinky, yeah, it just feels like that it might slip off. This happens because of where that slope begins. The closer that you are to the pommel, the Elementum, it doesn't do that because you can see, yeah, that it doesn't start to drop off until you're almost right at the end. The one area where I think that the feldspar here is better is going to be the action, like right out of the box. All right, remember this one? Yeah, it's another Kaisa Vanguard. This is the Dukes. You may not all agree with me here, but this is I think it's one of the few instances where I like the budget version over the much larger and more expensive premium one. I mean, sure, an S35 VN blade, yeah, that'd be great, but I just don't think that would really be worth the price increase. Number 6 is going to be one of my budget faves, and this is the medium honey badger in D2. Even though, the price, it has, kind of jumped up through the years, I still consider this like one of the most like versatile budget knives out there. Everything but, of course, the liner lock is going to be completely ambidextrous. Yes, that is going to be the clip included. Now, I'm sure by now you all know that the action, oh man, yeah, it's friggin' nuts on this thing. I can't believe we're at number 5 already. So this is kind of a Civivi. It's from their budget brand, Sencut. This is the Scepter. Any features that you think might be missing from the Elementum, oh yeah, can definitely be found here. And I'm talking about stuff like, well, the thumb studs. And it even has a 2-position pocket clip. Hopefully you knew that this one would be making an appearance at number 4. Yeah, that's the Ontario Rat 2. Out of all the knives on this list, I think that this is going to be the most similar overall to the Elementum. I mean, both handles have like the same organic curves throughout. And do you ever wonder though, like what the Rat 1 and the Rat 2 here, you ever wonder what they would be like with the flipper tab? And number 3 from CRKT, this is the Pilar 3. I have no problem proclaiming that this is by far my all-time favorite CRKT knife. So hopefully, it's just going to be a matter of time until we get a version with S35 VN blade steel. Number 2 is going to be yet another Civivi. This one is the Knox. Civivi is so good at making knives like, well, the Elementum, which, as we all know, has practically changed like the definition of what we consider a budget knife. And of course, they didn't stop there because now they went ahead and they kind of created their own competition to the Elementum by releasing the Knox here. I mean, it's almost really like a mini version of one of my all-time favorite knives, the now discontinued Wee Practic. Now, before I go ahead and show you number 1, I do have an honorable mention. This is from DropFerrum Forge. It's the Gent. I went ahead and put it here on the list. Well, for a couple of reasons. Because it's double, the price of an Elementum. So since it's made with more premium materials, I mean, carbon fiber, titanium, S35 VN steel. I mean, don't you think that kind of automatically gives it an unfair advantage? All right, here it is. Moment you've been waiting for. Number 1 I got from QSP. That's the Hawk. Now this version actually costs about, well, twice as much as the standard Elementum. So if you don't mind, if you could just imagine that this is actually the micarta one, you know, with the Sandvik steel blade, because that one's going to be a little bit closer in price. Now it's, to me anyway, it's pretty obvious that the Hawk was made in direct response to the Civivi Elementum, and hey, that's okay. But do you ever wonder if the Elementum would still be as popular as it is now if the Hawk was actually released first? I mean, what do you think? Or maybe it doesn't matter. Now, up on the screen is going to be a video that I personally picked out for you to go ahead and watch next. And hey, don't forget now, go ahead and click on subscribe. I got to run though. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you at the next video. Take care.